You're a business owner, you started 2023 and you think, I want to have a brilliant year. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 ITs of successful growing companies and see what you can put in place in 2023 to ensure you and your business progress and achieve everything you want to. My name is James White, small business sales expert, a man that loves helping great businesses and great salespeople get brilliant results. Let's have a look at what the 4 ITs of successful growing companies are and see how we can make your company one of those and hitting new heights. Let's have a look at the video. So what is it that the successful companies do? When you're a business owner, we're always looking at other organisations and thinking, how are they able to achieve their success and grow and build what they're doing and get better results? And one of the key things I talk to companies about, and with the companies I'm involved with, is I think there are 4 key critical factors that these companies get really good at and get very focused on achieving and making sure they are part of their strategic plans and work. The first IT is this. They're very good at winning business. They understand what it takes to win new business. They know that in order to be able to grow, they've got to identify where new sales are going to come from. How are they going to grow their revenue? How are they going to add new customers on board? And what these companies are able to do is identify strategies and tips that enable them to become better at winning business with customers that are a good fit for them, that value them and are prepared to pay for the investment or invest in their services and time. They really get understanding underneath the skin of the organisations they talk to, and they get focused on being able to solve problems for them and that people value. And because they are able to do that, they're able to win business and be able to forecast where their business is going to grow. These companies know they've got a sales pipeline. They know what their net revenue numbers are going to look like for the next 6 to 12 months. And because they've got those forecasts and outlines, they can then start to plan in other areas of their company. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is if you want to grow a successful business, you have to win business. You have to bring in business in. If you don't focus on generating income, new income that takes your company forward, you're never going to grow. Become an expert at winning it. Understand your sales forecasts, understand sales pipelines, get good at knowing who your client audience is and where you're a perfect fit for. Adjust your marketing so your branding and your marketing is focused on adding value to your marketplace, and you're going to be in a far better chance to win business and start that path to growth. So the next IT that the really successful growing companies are great at doing is this. Delivering it. The reality is this, you can win business all day long, but if you cannot then deliver it in a consistent way that delights your customer, you are going to fail and you're certainly not going to be able to grow as an organisation. So what are these companies doing that these other organisations aren't in terms of delivering it? I always say to people, you generally don't go to McDonald's for the best burgers, but what people do go to McDonald's for is the consistency. They know that the Big Mac is the same in Taunton as it is in Tunbridge Wells, or whether it's in Tampa, Florida, or Tallahassee. It doesn't matter. The McDonald's delivery system is perfected so that they can deliver consistently time and time again. And when you look at some of the bigger organisations, the companies that are scaling and growing, they're delivering things consistently. They've identified a process and a system and a way of working, and they're able to, if you like, go down to the fine margins to know how their service or their product will be delivered consistently time and time again. They've outlined process maps, they've trained their team, they have structures that ensure that when they're winning business, they're then able to deliver on the results that the sales team or the marketing brand promise has made. And if you can deliver on those promises and get customers really happy, it's going to be a great start for you to then grow and get bigger and bigger, because those customers will tell other people about who you are and what you do. So focus on how you deliver your services. Is it a case of you have to do a customized option every time, or are you in a position where you've built a framework, a process, a blueprint that enables you to, when an order comes in, to deliver it out in a consistent manner that gets the result and that makes the customer happy? If you're perfect at doing this, if you understand how to do this in an effective way, you're going to be on the path to growing your company. So the third IT that really successful growing companies are really good at doing is a simple one, but a pretty key one. Collecting it. They know that in order to be able to grow their business, they've got to bring the money in. And the money comes from the contracts and making sure they've got good financial policies and structures in place. These organizations are really good at making sure they sell to people, but then deliver and collect the money. I see a lot of organizations who are really good at what they do, but sometimes, I've been in situations where they've not invoiced me for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. Their processes and their methods of operating are just a bit slow. Or maybe they've got no contract in place to know how something's going to be delivered. And so there's a lot of ambiguity in terms of the way in which the customer approaches things. And that leads to payment delays, and payment delays lead to other issues. The very best businesses know and are perfectly good at collecting money. They have processes in place, they have structures that they work to, they have contracts in place for everything they do, and they deliver to it, and then they collect the money. And if they don't get the money in the time that they need to, they remove their services. And because they've built a great, strong brand in the marketplace, they're in a position to demand and have higher expectations on those they work with than be in a position where, like some companies, they're having to beg for business. Focus on being able to collect business as you need to. Make sure you have strong policies for sending out invoices. Use teams of people such as PAs if you're a smaller business to do that work for you. Or be in a position where you set payment terms for clients and then maybe adjust your services, or maybe put your stop on your services if clients aren't paying those. Put in place maybe credit control options to ensure that you're not being left at risk by organisations that maybe want to do business with you but then won't pay you on time. And put in place really strong contracts and terms and conditions that enable you to know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it when, that would stand up in court. The very best growing companies know how to collect it. They're great at collecting cash. They're great at their contracts. They know how they're doing. They're delivering the services that they're promising, and that's helping them scale and grow and get bigger and bigger and do more things. And the final it that these growing companies are really successful at is retaining it. They know that in order to grow, they don't want to have to keep going back to the start again every year in order to hit the next number. They want to build on the business they've earned and generated, and all the great work they've done by winning a customer. They then want to make sure that they're retaining it. And that's sometimes harder to do. The stats always show that it's much easier to retain a customer than it is to win a new business. But many companies forget about this. They forget about actually engaging with these type of organizations, and they think that that business will just come to them, whatever happens. They don't put in place maybe structured programs for referrals and for customer loyalty that really look after the people here. These companies get really good at retaining the clients they've got. They look after them, they make time for them, they get to know them, they spend time having lunch or coffee with them to ensure they're understanding what's going on in their world. And the teams of people that are doing this, whether it's customer service or sales, are really able to focus on whether they can increase the amount of business they do with these organizations, or maybe go into new partners or sister companies that they work with here. They know that it's easier to retain business and to find new clients from working with the existing customers they've got. And they understand that, and they put strategies in place for it. So these successful companies know that in order to grow and to achieve the scale and plans they have, they've got to be able to understand how to effectively win business consistently. They've got to be able to then deliver it without necessarily it causing stress and strain and challenges for the business. They've got to collect the money so they've got their finances in order to pay providers and team members and customers and who they need to work with. And they've also then got to retain that business so they always don't have a leaky bucket and find that they're having to replace new business on a regular basis with clients that should be in good place to do more with them, but don't because they're unhappy with the way the service was delivered. Get those 4 elements right. Focus on winning it, focus on delivering it, focus on collecting it, focus on retaining it, and you and your company can start to grow and achieve the success you want. If you want a bit more help and support on how to achieve success in each of these areas, or think, I'm not sure what he means by delivering it, put a comment in the section below. Let's find out the challenges that you and your organization are facing, and we'll put some videos and resources in my network to make sure that you can understand what you've got to do in each of these areas to get the growth that you want. But if you're a business owner watching this and you're thinking, yeah, I want my company to grow, I want to start seeing growth over the next 3 years and build a plan to maybe exit or change some different lives in the way in which you're doing things, and you want to know how you can put those 4 elements in place, reach out to me, let's have a conversation, and let's talk about how I can help you, as I'm doing with other businesses, put the 4 ITs in place for successful business growth. Hope that's been helpful for you and give you some ideas that what you can do to get your business where you want it to be in 2023 and beyond. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let's share the video with others to make sure we get loads of business owners all over the world putting the 4 ITs in place to get their companies thriving and growing. Thanks for watching the video. See you next Saturday for another one.